Hi everyone, welcome. I'm getting excited here because I'm going to be doing the Seance Circle spread, and it's a hashtag put out by Rumor Haven. So I got my table going here, and it was interesting. A couple weeks ago, my guides decided to ask me to stoke this table up and get it ready. I couldn't figure out why, and here it is 2 weeks later. We got a hashtag. So if I go down here again, I'm just going to show you the base here. Gives me a chance to do some offerings. So I've got some rose down there, some Sweet William, some Forget-Me-Nots, and I got some other stuff up here. Oh yeah, and down there I got Cosmos, if I didn't say that, because that's for communication. So this is a table, and I'm ready to roll. And up here you can see I've got my Wednesday candle on my weekly candle display unit going. I got my ancestor deck that I just inherited in the last bit, care of my husband's side. And this is through Ruth. Her name is Ruth, just discovered that, and I'm keeping notes as I do some readings. And this is where we're going to be working today. But I'm just going to take a little bit of incense here after I put this in the holder, and it'll be sage I'm using, just some fresh stuff from the garden. I want to put down some ancestor oil and herbs and, ring the bell. So let's get busy. Now, a couple weeks ago, the deity I'm working with suggested I get this table hopping. I didn't know why, but here we are. I can't do a lot of scent, but I got some sage here from my garden, and we're going to bless this table and get it going. I've done a little blessing already, but a little sage will help. Now, I know Rumor said this was not meant to be that type of video where you're actually doing a seance, but I'm just going to protect the area in case someone decides to visit. And I got a little bit of an oil I made here for connecting with my dad. And I got some healing herbs that connects me to some of my ancestors on my mother's side. So we got some stuff coming out there. I'll make a little offering up there. Let the rest go. And I think, as they say, Bob's your uncle. Okay, I'm feeling like I'm ready to roll. So let's just step back and dive in. Now I've done a little diagram here where I want to place everything, and let's hope I get it right. And I got all my prompts here, kind of messy, but a witch's got to do what a witch got to do to get it together. Now, the first one we're starting with is the crystal ball. Now, I have placed a card there. This is from a deck that I created from 4 different decks. I cut them into rounds. So today that's going to be my crystal ball. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to use this deck, so I kind of interviewed it. So let's lower this down a bit. And I did ask the deck if I could use it. And just to show you a few of the cards, I haven't named this deck, I don't think, just yet. Ooh, there goes my quartz crystal. So these are some of the cards, if we can get it into focus, that are part of this deck now. There's no words mentioned on the cards. I cut those all off. And just people's faces and images. And I got quite a stash here from 4 decks. I picked the cream of the crop, and those are the backs. So what did I get when I interviewed the deck? Well, as I say, I asked it, would you like to do this spread with me? Are you on board? And what did I get? A honeybee. It was like, to me, instantly sweet. And I think of the hive when I do this, but I'm going to pause and put another light on so we can see the cards better. But that sits in the center as my focus card, and the energy of the bee, I hope, will run through the spread. So that is going there. Now, she did suggest, Rumor, that this would be nice if it was round like a crystal ball. It sat in the center, and it makes that central point and theme happen. So for me, this is the bee. Now, number 2 was the candle, and it's a shadow deck, something to light our hidden aspects and deep feelings. So what did I choose? Well, I chose the ethereal. So this is going to be my candle in the darkness to light my way. Now, I did not pick a card, so I'm going to now, I'm just going to shuffle, but I wanted to show you some of the cards. And I did just show these in another hashtag the other day, but I felt this deck was appropriate. So I'm hoping that I get even a wand card would be nice to light my way at the top of the spread. So I'm just going to pause, shuffle, and see what we get. You know, it's quite a chunky deck. Makes a great noise. Oh, I had one fall out already. That was quick. I was shuffling them last night. Now this one is appearing upside down. But there it is, and it is the Ace of Swords. And you know, I gotta say, I like it when the card, the Ace of Swords in some decks, is pointing up. Because to me, that's a breakthrough through the clouds. And I like the illumination it is giving. So that is going to be in the candle position. Superb. Let's zoom in a little bit. And I'll adjust the camera. Okay, now the next one is prompt number 3, a personal item to attract spirit in. So I have chosen the Witch's Oracle. And these are the cards. So you do get some objects. I could have used that card in the center, but put some of those down there. Let's just see what I get as a personal item to attract spirit in. And I could have used my charms in this, but I decided no. So let's shuffle and see. It is a sticky deck if it hasn't been played with for a bit, so I did shuffle it a bit last night. So the object we're getting, interesting, the Chinese dragon. So I guess that's like a fire energy at the root of things. Attracting spirit in could be creativity. But let's pause and take a look at what the object suggests. Okay, in the trusty little book that goes along with it, it states that Chinese dragons are referred to as the divine creatures that bring with them abundance, prosperity, and is the ultimate symbol of good fortune. Oh, so maybe I can look at my symbol as being one of good fortune. The ability to never give up and overcoming obstacles. It offers you the tools you need to make that happen. So trust. Nice. Hold him close and draw the luck and the goodness of him. Wow. Okay. I will take that. And it does suggest that this is a card that says, yes, I can do that. Now, for number 4, it is meant to be an invitation to spirit, a card for invocation or prayer. And she suggested, cards with figures, angels, deities, something you would use for ancestor work. So I chose the Grace cards. And it was another one that I had to interview because I didn't know if it was going to be right. And so when I did that, I got Invoke. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So we're going to put her down there. And I'm going to shuffle and see what it is we are trying to invoke. I'm going to push this. Well, I won't push it back. It's just when I hold it. Okay, so what is it that the Grace cards are asking me to invoke? Well, I'm choosing this one. Perception. So bringing the spirit guides, the guardian angels in for some clear perception. That goes really nicely with the Ace of Swords. Wow, my tummy's grumbling too. All right, so I'm going to put that there. And we're going to be invoking perception into this make-believe seance. Now, number 5. Number 5, channeling spirit. So I need a deck that might have writing or drawings that would inspire, or phrases, something I could use for channeling the energy. All right, so I have my deck in mind. So in order to do some channeling, like meditation, I chose the Meditation Mandalas deck, 36 cards. Doesn't have a booklet. This is what the backs look like. And you get something to prop on your altar or to carry around, and really an image that you could sit with. It has a few words on the bottom. So I'm just going to see what my mandala will be as we're doing our sacred circle spread. I felt one pop a little bit there, so I'm going for that one. I think this one came up when I was leafing through it yesterday. So there's my mandala for me to look at and to concentrate on. I am happy. So that, I believe, goes right there. Gets a little big, doesn't it, this spread? So I'm quite happy with that. So let's see what number 6 is. Now, I think someone else used this deck, but it was all that I could think of as well. Wisdom of the Crones. Because we're looking for spiritual photography. If things were being photographed during the seance, there might be a spirit or a ghost that would pop up. So I'm going to see what card is going to be offered to me in the idea of spirit photography. If there's things that I can't see as we're sitting here with our seance table, who or what would we see? Oh, I'm going for this one. Okay. Ooh, nice. So it looks like an elderly woman, and it says dignity. So if I read the back, time helps us honor the nobility of self. What we think of ourselves is now more important than what others think of us. So that would be encouragement, I guess, from an ancestor saying, I got your back. Celebrate the unique you, acknowledge your worthiness, And those who make you feel insecure can't do so without your permission. Respect yourself, and I guess repeat that often. Dignity. I like the idea of the steps going up to a doorway. It's almost like she's standing there inviting us in. Ooh, that's lovely. I'll take that card. All right, on to the next one. Okay, according to rumor, number 7, we're looking for something to materialize. If we were sitting with a group of people around the table and all our energies are working, what's going to happen? What do we need to watch for? So we're looking for a haunting deck with ghostly images. Ooh. Okay, the deck that I would normally take with me when I was just doing that hashtag with Living in Tarot. This is the deck I'm going to take with me on my journey in that one, and this is the deck I'm going to be appealing to. So, I believe this was materialization. Let me just check that. This is number 7. Yep, okay. What do we need to watch for? I love this deck. What do we need to watch for during our seance? Ooh, let's just see what this one is. Number 26. I like the idea of the 5 dots there in the flower. I'm all about gardening. I don't remember what number 26 was. Hold tight. Okay, so what I got from this card, 26, is that it's asking that during any seance or energy work to protect myself. Think of ways to bring stability and adapt to the surroundings. But if something was to materialize, maybe it would be the scent of a flower. Okay, so I'll be watching for aromas and scents in the air. And that is the backs, and let's put that in place. Getting crowded, and so you can see quite a lot of color and niftiness is happening here. Okay, the next one was, sometimes when you're doing a seance, you get some things that are happening that are annoying. You might even get a poltergeist. So she said, choose a deck that might introduce a little bit of mischief, some trickery, something going on behind the scenes. Now, I have chosen, and I keep it in this cute little tin, a deck that I made, and it's a vampire deck. So, things are not what they seem when you're dealing with vampires. And it's nice that I have that over there for stability to keep things, in check, because these guys might be sucking the living out of me. So we don't want to lose any energy. No leaking of energy, please. So let's see if there's a character in here. And this is a Lenormand deck. So I thought that could be fun, along with the vampires. What do I have? What trickster thing is going on? Ooh, book. So to me, knowledge might be coming through in the seance, but be aware and, check with that spidey sense inside. Does it make sense? Does it ring true? And because the book is closed here, if it comes from an ancestor, they're being a little bit secretive, so it might be encrypted, sort of, the message that might be coming through from the vampire Lenormand. Gnarly. Okay, number 9 was the collective hallucination. And she brought in the fact that, sometimes we have that FOMO for a deck, that fear of missing out. And that could come into a seance that, you want to be there, you want to be attentive, and you don't want to miss out on anything that's happening around you. So as you can see, my FOMO deck is the Staller Tarot. Now, comes in a tin, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be a deck I could read with for others, but the characters are so amusing. It could have almost gone for the trickster spot as well. So, see if I can get it in focus. There we go. It is just a hoot. And if you need a little uplifting, this is a great deck for that. Like, look at that. He's just so darling. So the images in here, or the symbolism in here is a little bit different. They got brooms, they got spoons for cups. That could be your air one there. But let's just look at the image itself and see what I get from my FOMO deck. An energy just had to be here. Maybe it wasn't invited, like the FOMO deck, but you just couldn't resist when it rang the doorbell and said, please include me. Okay, we got it. So yeah, those are the backs. Oh, somebody's very sad. That would be Pails. Oh, and look at the liquid. It's just so cute. Get it up here if I can. Come on, baby. Clear. So somebody has some emotions that they are hanging on to and they really need to release. So there might be an emotional release that comes up in here. And I might have had the symbology in here mixed up, but pails are obviously cups. That's the 5 of cups. And so I'm going to be watching out for, I guess, spilling forth of feelings, heavy feelings. And being able to see that, there is light on the horizon. Maybe the spirit guides can direct me to that. So that actually goes with this one here. All right. Now for the 10th card, Rumor Haven suggested close with something that is uplifting, kind of sugary coated, that would offer a little bit of healing to those that have surrounded the table and maybe allows a little bit of release and relaxation after being so tense of being working on something like this. So what would be my closing choice of cards? Well, I don't know how many people have seen this. This is from a long time ago. Healing Angel cards. Now, you get quite a little mittful. And they're a nice shape, So if you're going to throw it on the table after for a little bit of info, I think I might scoot this one here and put it there in the middle if I was doing this. So communication seems to be the idea, and working as a collective like the bee, tapping into our confidence, our fiery nature, really using our perception and watching out for emotions that might be overflowing. I can spend some time looking at this mandala, and I can actually, climb the steps and feel secure with this woman who says, maybe behind the door there's something warm and inviting. And maybe that's where the scent comes, the flavor from that flower over there. Watch out for the energy drain, certainly right by the cups there, eh? And the bee is pointing to it. It can be stinging, I guess. All right, so I'm just giving these little guys a shuffle, and we'll see the angels that hold us in the highest regard, that surround us during our seance, like to leave us with integrity. Be flexible, but be also true to you. Stand by your beliefs and your values, and others will stand by and believe in you. Well, that's kind of nice to finish on. I guess it's looking for truth, and what you believe will be helpful after you've done your little seance here at the table. So kind of good. I didn't sense any guides, guardians coming in per se that I can name, but definitely a fun little spread. And maybe it'll be something that I do on my own with my deity even and see what she would offer as far as information. But she wanted me to put this table together, and I couldn't understand, as I say a couple weeks ago, dress this table, get it ready. And this table is actually a clock here. So for divination, I can use that for time. I've got some sage underneath this little lid here. I've got one of those symbols to keep negativity away. But I'm really enjoying the chance to use the table, and I thank Rumor Haven for creating this spread and look forward to many more times on this table. Cheers, everyone.